Henry's gone and done something I would have never thought they'd do in a million years. That's right, the 9mm Henry repeating arms Homesteader. Yes, a semi-auto 9mm carbine. Let's have some fun. All right. I can't believe I'm shooting a semi-auto Henry, y'all, but we are. Here we are. Yes, sir. All right, guys, welcome back. Eric here with Iraq Veteran. I hope that everybody is having a wonderful day, and thanks so much for tuning in. And look, I'm sure that this particular gun excited some folks and possibly repulsed a few people. I'm sure there's a lot of people in the tactical gun community that think, oh, what the heck is going on here? Why would I want something like this? You know, when I opened up the box and I saw this, you know, Henry sent us one of these out to do a video and show you guys. I didn't really know what to think initially, but after I got a hold of this thing and started shooting it some, one thing right out the gate I noticed when I picked this gun up is the sights. These XS peep sights, which are super nice, and they are the correct height to clear just about any suppressor you want to use on this thing. It is threaded 1/2x28. We are wearing a Griffin Armament Rev 45 suppressor. This is in a 1/2x28 mount. And a big shout out to our friends at Griffin Armament for supporting today's video. Great group of people, and they provided this suppressor here for us to run on this particular gun. Lots of different mounting options. Griffin's putting out some great stuff, and they are masters in the meme lore. Veteran owned and operated. Check them out, really good folks. And of course, Henry's a great company too. So there's a couple of different configurations in terms of the magazines. Now, you noticed that I ran a Glock magazine here in this particular gun. Henry developed this gun to use a proprietary magazine that they make. And I did test fire the gun with the proprietary mags. It worked just fine, no issues, very light and handy. Of course, great in that regard. But I did opt to go ahead and install the Glock magazine conversion block for this. They have some different SKUs of this gun. If you want to get the one that accepts the Glock magazines, you have to make sure that you order the correct SKU that either includes the Glock magazine adapter or has the original Henry one as well as the Glock magazine adapter. They're also doing these for Smith & Wesson M&P magazines as well. And at the time of this filming, those are the three types of magazines that you can get the Homesteader set up in. It's very Browning-like. It reminds me of my grandpa's old Browning hunting rifle. Like, it's just smooth and sleek. The bolt is smooth. The furniture, of course, looks fantastic. It does come already equipped with sling studs, a nice recoil pad, which honestly, I don't really know why you'd need a recoil pad on this 9mm, but it does complete the look. Beautiful walnut furniture. I love the sights. The bluing looks great. The disassembly of this thing is stupid easy. They are really easy to take care of. Just knock these 3 pins out and the whole unit separates kind of like a Browning. And I'm really digging that. You do have a manual bolt stop. That's not unlike a Ruger 1022. Later on, Ruger made some changes to their bolt stop on the 1022. It's very similar. So, but I would say might even be a little bit easier to use than a 1022, okay? But the bolt stop can be actuated from either side of the trigger guard. You have a tang safety that just pushes forward. Red is dead. And of course, to the rear, you hide the red. That lets you know it's on safe. Let's go ahead and shoot the gun some more. I'm gonna pick up the speed a little bit. These are 24 round factory OEM Glock magazines loaded with 147 grain Remington UMC full power ammunition. So let's give it a try. Well, it's accurate, that's for sure. Last round bolt hold open, of course. The receiver on this gun is drilled and tapped for scope basis. I'm just running this with irons because, you know, it just felt right to run it with irons. I don't know if I'd want to, put an optic on it. I think it kind of ruins the profile of the gun to have an optic on it. I feel like you just need to run this bad boy with iron sights and be done with it.
Blasphemy!
Well, sounds great with a can. All right, so we got some Remington Subsonic. This is also 147 grain ammo, moving at 945 feet per second. These are Glock 17 magazines, OEM Glock magazines. Let's give it a try. Okay. Wow. So Henry sort of bills this, more or less, as a ranch rifle, a handy companion that you can just take out on your four-wheeler, on your Polaris, shoot at rabbits or little critters, or just have as a, you know, you see a coyote pop up somewhere, you can take a shot at them. Just a handy pistol caliber carbine that is very rifle-like. One thing that I think we tend to kind of forget, you know, when we're looking at PCCs, is everybody wants to go light and small and compact on PCCs, and the modern PCCs, they certainly lend themselves to that from a tactical standpoint. I don't really think they're trying to cross that tactical, you know, meeting of the minds with this particular thing. I think this is just more of, you know, someone that wants a PCC, but they want something that feels like a traditional rifle. And I haven't shot a 9mm carbine like this in so long that I was pleasantly surprised when I got behind it. I'm like, wow, this reminds me of my old Ruger police carbine, right? It kind of has that vibe. It reminds me of like the old Camp 9 carbine, you know, that Marlin put out way back in the day. Of course, those aren't made anymore. But there is something to be said for something that has the feel of a rifle but fires a pistol caliber cartridge, which I think there is a niche market for that. There is a group of people that want something that feels like a rifle, and this totally does. And I think they did a great job on the sights. I really love the peep sights on this gun, for sure. All right, let's have some fun. And I was kidding on the optic. We'll probably stick an optic on this thing later. All right, those were the subs. I do have a couple of steel case rounds here. We're gonna shoot some steel case out of it just to make sure it's gonna eat it. And then we're gonna try some hollow points on our remaining sodas here, okay? Okay, we ate a bit of steel case there. Okay, and that was a Glock factory magazine as well. All right, here is a 15 round PMag, Glock PMag. And we've got some Remington Ultimate Defense. This is the full size handgun ammo. This is plus P 124 grain loaded with a Golden Saber projectile. And that's gonna be it on our ammo here for the day. But we're gonna go ahead and take out a couple of our soda bottles. Now I've got some sodas on the rack here up close, only about 25 yards away or so. You know, we're not shooting very far here. The back of the range down there, they're probably hard to see, but I've got a couple of 2 liters down there at 50 yards as well. We're just gonna go ahead and lay some hollow points into these soda bottles just to kind of see what kind of energy transfer we get out of the 124. And remember, just because this is a PCC doesn't mean it has to have a short barrel. This has a 16-inch barrel, so you're getting full velocity out of that 9mm. And dare I say, I would even go as far as to say that when you run something like this with the suppressor, this Rev 45, the Griffin armament can, it's got a lot of volume, but then the barrel kind of becomes volume too, because you're allowing that powder to burn up, especially in a subsonic round. You're getting a lot more of that powder to burn on up, and it's just all that much more area behind the suppressor for the gases to expand and cool down before they get to the end. So that might be one kind of benefit as well of running subs. You're not really getting the gun, the round is not gonna crack even though it's a subsonic cartridge coming out of the longer barrel. So it's not really a detriment in that sense. Okay, let's give it a try. We're gonna shoot some sodas. All right. All right, one's in the back. Ooh. Ha ha. Yep, oh, one more. Poor gopher. Good stuff. I like it. I think time will tell, you know, obviously as these things get rode a little harder and, you know, people put some more rounds through them, you know, I think it goes to say though, that with all of these new products that Henry has been coming out with over this last couple of years especially, they've really been hitting it hard. And I think it's a commendable thing. I mean, they're doing a great job of getting a lot of cool SKUs out there, a lot of interesting new things that, you know, modern shooters definitely want. And I think that this gun allows them to get into the pistol caliber realm, but still do it in a way that honors, you know, what their company tries to do and the types of people that their company really adheres to. Like, you know, the Homesteader, you know, it's called the Homesteader, you know what I mean? Like the person that just wants a nice handy carbine that feels like a rifle. One thing I want to mention too quickly is what they did on the receiver. I do like the way they designed this receiver too, because if you notice, there are absolutely no sharp edges anywhere to be found on this receiver. So they did a great job of making this thing where it's not going to hurt you. I can't stand a PCC or any type of rifle. It's got sharp edges everywhere. It's going to cut your hands to pieces. The only thing that I would probably add if I had to change anything, the charging handle is a little bit tiny. I would prefer maybe a little bit bigger charging handle, but that's just me being real critical. I love the stock. I love the way this thing looks. It's a fantastic piece of hardware. So check them out. That's the Henry 9mm Homesteader. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, big thanks to Griffin Armament for providing this Rev 45 suppressor that we can use on this gun here today. We've just got it running direct thread. And overall, I'm very pleased with this rifle. I think you guys will be too. Check one out. Really cool stuff. Many more videos on the way. We'll see you soon.